I'm Mila and welcome to Okay-ish Advice. It might not be the best advice, but it's advice. And, I've kind of had a traumatic life. So hopefully, all of everything that I have learned somehow can help you. So here we are, friends. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. And, I'm here. I'm rooting for you. So today, I feel like I'm kind of qualified to talk about this, but not the best person qualified to talk about this because it is motherhood. And I'm kind of like a holy hood rat mom. I don't know. Some lady wrote me one time and was like, because I had a shirt on that said snitches get stitches. And she was like, you're a role model in our community and you're a role model for my children. And so, you really shouldn't wear that shirt. And I personally feel like that shirt's on brand for me, considering I'm Italian and I could be a whole lot worse than I am. But I just basically told her, I don't even want to feel the pressure of being a role model for my own children. So don't stick me in that place. So should you take this advice that I'm giving you? Well, it's real. And, I'm a mom and I'm trying my best. And I do feel like I have good kids and, I just love them and I'll probably have to pay for therapy for them later, but it's fine. Okay, let's move on to question number 1 that's been submitted by you guys. Mila, what is your best advice on how to keep it all together when working, having children and a business to run and carrying a baby? Okay, I try my best. I try, okay? All I can say is be real. My kids see me at my highest moments. My kids see me at my lowest moments. People have said, we don't fight in front of our kids. Our kids don't need to see that. Well, your kids are going to go grow up and think that that's freaking normal with their spouses. That's not okay. So Matt and I are just really real with our kids. I'll tell them, look, I'm having a really crappy day. I don't feel good today. I'm in a bad mood. So don't push it. All right. I just tell them, I'm really trying not to lose it. And my kids, I think that we've been through a lot that they've seen me lose it. And I'm not saying, have a mental breakdown in front of your 2-year-old. What I'm saying is that my kids my youngest is 7 and I have an 11 and a 12-year-old, which, this year I'm going to have a teenager. Maybe even by the time this comes out, maybe not. I think they'll both be the same age around the time this comes out, Gia and Gemma. But they've seen me be a real person, and we've been able to talk about it. And something so rewarding with them and the ages that they're at is being able to communicate with them. And I remember, just being a kid, all of us can, when our parents were frustrated with us and they were like, oh my God, go to your room, instead of just being like, hey, I kind of tried to change that narrative for my kids. And I was like, hey, you know what? Go take some time to yourself, cool off, pray, do whatever. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wash some dishes. I'm going to pray about the situation. And then we're going to regroup and we're going to talk it out. Because you're not treating me right and I'm about to not treat you right, So anyways, just having open communication with them has been really good for me, for our family. Matt's been the same way, and just, I don't keep it all together. I just try my best and hope for the best, and I really am not I'm not a fake person to other people. I am actually a very socially awkward person when put into situations like with other parents. And, when we're at like, when my kids were in the co-op and we had to do like school stuff, I'm like, I've always felt, because of the way that I grew up, with family coming from immigrants and coming from a single mother, I've always felt like different. And so like, people will come in the restaurant and they'll be, bougie and well off and wealthy. And I just don't live my life that way. Like, I cannot relate to that. So, I just have a different like mentality, I guess. And not like a poverty mentality, but more of just like, that's not what's important to me. Like, I like nice things, okay? But I don't know. I don't even really know how I got onto this, but I think I just try and be a real person. I think that's what I was mainly trying to say. And then I went down a rabbit hole. It's fine. We're good. I ate a cupcake before this, so I'm on my sugar high. Question number 2. I am struggling with the decision to have children. Please help. If you're looking for somebody who has perfect children, cute little blonde hair, blue-eyed kids and a picket fence and a perfect dog, I'm not your person. My children are heathens. Not really. They're feral at times. But you know what? It's so crazy because Matt and I were saying this is the first time that I've been pregnant and we have been pretty financially stable. Well, the most financially stable we've ever been in our lives, to where we're not living paycheck to paycheck. And, we actually have a savings. And not that we have a huge savings either. Like, don't get crazy, okay? But just being able to be like, okay, well, if a car breaks down, we can fix it. You know what I mean? We had our other children, Matt was working like 2 or 3 jobs. I was working a job. I was working nights at my grandparents' place. I was always hustling, trying to make money, selling things out of the house and like flipping things and whatever. But anyways, there is no real good time to have a kid, okay? I can tell you, from us eating ramen every night to us being able to go steal Parmesan from the restaurant, that no matter what, God has always taken care of us. We've always made it. We have always been okay because we've always trusted that everything would be okay. The reality is that this world flippin' sucks, okay? It just does. We live in a fallen world, like the Bible tells us that. We can see that. So I challenge you to look at it as we are raising history makers, okay? We have this calling to raise kids who are here to change the world. And that's what I would really pray about, and be like, you know what, God, like, is it my calling to do this? Because He will equip you to have kids. Like, He will give it to you. I think that one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done is become a parent. It is the hardest thing that I've ever done, and it's the most rewarding thing that I've ever done, because people might argue with me about this, but you become a parent because it is like the chance for you to be a better person. You go, you break off generational things, you heal from childhood trauma, and your kids are the redemption of that. They're the redemption of you breaking all those things. They're like the gift to the world. Like, they're your legacy, And yeah, I even told Matt, I said, you remember when I was pregnant with Pearl and we had to pray to get a car seat because we didn't have the money for a car seat. And he was like, yeah, he's like, wow, like how different is it this time around where we're worried more about like medical stuff than just buying basic like necessities. Although I'm still kind of freaking out about that because now strollers are like a flipping $1,000. I'm like, what is this kid riding around in, a flipping Lamborghini? But anyways, yeah, so I would just say, like, you know, in everything big that I've done in my life, there's always been fear. And so you can choose fear or you can choose faith. And I mean, when you get pregnant, you have one, mostly. Most everybody just has one. So it's not like you're, you know, or having 8 at a time like a puppy or something. So, you know, start with one, friend. And then, you know, see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to be thinking about you and praying for you. Because I know that it's so huge and it is life-changing. But I promise you, it's insane and insanely amazing at the same time to be a parent. It's really cool. So, and then if you don't have kids, there's people who are trash that are having kids, and look at the world. So, you know, we need some good people to combat that. Is that bad to say? It is okay-ish advice. And I'm not trying to be judgmental, but dear God, please, we need some people out there just like being good people and like loving people. And as far as I can see, like kids with a work ethic, let me tell you that. Okay, question 3 and our last question. Disciplining a child. Help you, help me. Oh my God. I feel like there are people, I don't know. I feel like there are people over here who are very like, what is it, that thing that they always use like out of context in the Bible, like spare the rod, spoil the child. So then there's like people over here who are crazy. And then there's people over here who are like so gentle parenting that I'm like literally dealing with their kids who come in and say, I can't have a job because it causes anxiety and I'm uncomfortable, and they leave. So like I'm the weirdo in like the middle, just being like, okay, God help me, please. Cause like, how do I stay sane and like not, I mean, you guys, okay, let's talk about this. About a month ago, my daughters, Gia and Gemma, and they were like those 2 Muppets on any of the Muppet movies, the 2 old guys that are always like behind the curtain in the box, and they're like, that was them all flipping day to me. They were like heckling me. Everything that I said, oh mom, and I'm like, you know what? I hate this age. They're like critics. Like, my God. And like, you know, oh mom, why did you say that? I don't know. English wasn't my first language. Back off. I didn't remember Italian either, but it's fine. Like, you know, so I'm just like, my God. And like, it was getting towards the end of the night and they just had an attitude. And I'm like, is it that time of the month? Like, what is the matter with these kids? And I'm like washing the dishes and they're just like picking at each other, at me, at everyone around them. And I just looked at them, and you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I flippin' lost it. Okay? When I say I lost it, I mean I lost it. Matt literally had a fork halfway to his mouth and he's like looking at me. I just looked at them. I said, if I would have talked to my mother or my nonna the way that you guys are talking to me, they would have slapped the bleep out of me. I said, you are so freaking lucky that I am trying to parent you godly, because I swear to God, I lost it. I was like beaten, okay? Like I got the crap beat out of me, kid. You have no idea. You want to know a hand? My grandfather's hand was like 5 hands together, like poof, okay? And I just looked at them. I said, do you think that I deserve to be treated to and talked to the way that you're talking to me? And then one of my kids was like, with that face, and I was like, especially you, miss, I put my mom through 35 hours of labor, and then she still had to get cut open. Like, get out of here. I mean, I'm not the best person for parenting. But like, what this did was me losing it made them realize, like, I ended up coming back to them and just being like, you guys are pushing buttons. And I promised, like, I spanked Gia one time. It was me or Matt. I can't remember which one of us spanked her because she was like being literally a toddler. And I think she was like 2. And I just remember her looking at us like with these big blue eyes. And she was like, you hurt me. Why would you hurt me? And Matt and I are like, because you just do what your parents did, right? So that like changed that whole thing for us. But, you know, and I just like, I prayed about it and I was like, okay, well, I really don't want Gia to think that, you know, somebody hitting her is okay. Because like, what if she goes to a husband and he hits her and she thinks that that's okay? Like subconsciously. Not saying that this happens for everybody, whatever. This is my own personal conviction. So anyways, all of that, my kids ended up just being like flabbergasted that I lost it. And, I just, you know, sat them down and I was like, listen, you're driving me flipping nuts. And I understand that your frontal lobe is not all the way developed and you're questioning every single thing, but you don't need to speak it out loud. Okay? Like, I don't need to hear every single thought that comes through your head, especially if it's not going to be life-giving. All right? So this is like me trying to parent. I'm just going. And like, you know, they're preteens. Gia's going to be a teenager this year. And it's weird because every single child needs a different way of parenting. And that is so flippin' hard. I don't even know how God parents us. He's probably like, he's probably just like, girl, you're a hot mess. Like, I don't know what's going on with you. But, you know, all I can say is try your best, have open communication. Don't beat the crap out of them because you don't want to keep that generational thing going. And I think a lot of times you have to remove them from the situation and then come back and revisit it later. I think later on, I just recorded it earlier, but you'll hear me talk about what happened with Pearl in the middle of Bradley Mountain. And that was like really the first time I had to literally haul her away from a situation and sit her down in a chair and then come back when we both had cooled off. Because you don't want to say things that you don't mean in with your kids. Because that's, I feel like when you're angry, that's when that open door comes through and you say things to your kids like, you always do this, or you never blah, blah, blah. You know, like I'm trying to raise you to not be a little, like whatever, you know? And that's like, it's better to just be like, you know what? No, not giving the enemy any leeway to do something. I'm going to just remove myself and remove my child from this situation for their safety and my safety. Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, whatever. So, like I said, I feel like I could have a mug that would say like, okay-ish mom, you know? Like, not like, world's greatest mom, just like, okay-ish mom. Like, that lady was trying her best, bless her. So, but yeah, I hope that this resonates with somebody, and I hope that it makes you feel like you're not screwing up, because I've had people come to me and be like, you know what? Like, you have really like good, well-rounded kids, you know? And they're in that, like, you remember being like a preteen and you're like in that awkward, like, you have like a weird sense of humor where it's not like really funny and like memes are hilarious and your parents are like just trying to get through it. We're in that like right now, but I'm trying to really like relish this like awkward, weird phase, because before I know it, they're going to be teenagers and they're not going to want to be home and they're not going to want to be around me. Well, I hope not. Please, I don't mean to speak that into existence, but you know what I mean. They want to be with their friends. They want to be cool. And I'm just trying to take each season as it comes. And Pearl, I feel so bad for laughing because Pearl is my hard child. And it's hard to parent her and not laugh at the same time because she's like literally like an 80-year-old woman. Like she's like Sophia from the Golden Girls in a 7-year-old redheaded body. You know? I mean, oh my God. I'm just going to say something really quick because I think I'm going on time. But we were at the chiropractor's office and she opens up her purse and she wears red lipstick like every day. And I said, what's in your purse? And she has 4 different red lipsticks in a sparkly purse and a slingshot and 4 rocks. And she's trying to get the rocks out with the slingshot. And we're like, no. No weapons are allowed out. Like, put it back in. And she's like, I'm just going to look at it. I said, no, put it back in. And Matt and I are like, put it back in there, Pearl, because everybody's looking at us. And she turns around, puts her hands on her hips and says, it is a right to carry state. I'll have you know. And I'm like, it's conceal carry. Conceal it. Like, my God, kid. You know? So it's just, she's on a whole other level. So if you could pray for me, that would be great. It's Pearl. But you know, we do still sit her down at 7. We still have open and honest communications, even when she says, I don't know, I just blacked out. My mouth kept going. Like, I don't know what to say about that kid. So if you guys could pray for me in that regard, I'm going to end with that. So as you guys are driving, you're like, Lord Jesus, please help Mila today as she deals with her daughter Pearl. And we'll see how she is when the new baby comes. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. So that might be a whole nother episode. Don't forget to send me your questions. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to me just go. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for Mama Mila's. And, you know, if you're feeling like it, taking a couple minutes out and leaving me a really good review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify would be amazing. You guys, my trolls have been out and I'm trying not to be discouraged. So, you know, doing the Lord's work. I love you. I love to see you. I love to feed you. And I love you. Tanti Bachi. Till next time.